Hear this not as a lesson, but as a memory whispered by time itself. In the final years of the 4th century, when marble still gleamed in Rome and the legions still marched beneath crimson standards, the empire stood vast but uneasy. Its borders stretched from misty Britannia to the burning sands of Syria. Yet inside that greatness, cracks had begun to speak. And on one violent August day in the year 378 AD, those cracks would break open on a dusty plain near Adrianople, where an emperor would fall not to poison or betrayal, but to fire, fear, and the fury of the Goths. This is the battle that killed an emperor. The emperor was Valens, ruler of the Eastern Roman Empire, a disciplined man, stern and cautious, but burdened by doubt. His co-emperor in the west, Gratian, was young, popular, and successful in war. The comparison stung. Valens wanted victory of his own. Beyond the Danube frontier, the world was changing. The Goths, a confederation of tribes, farmers, warriors, families, had been driven from their homelands by a terror from the east. The Huns, riders who seemed born of the storm. In desperation, tens of thousands of Goths begged Rome for asylum. "We will serve," their leaders promised. "Give us land, give us grain, let us live as Romans," Valens agreed. It was a decision that would haunt history. Roman officials were meant to feed and settle the refugees. Instead, they exploited them. Grain was sold at extortionate prices. Children were traded for dog meat. Families starved under Roman supervision. Gothic elders said to have cried out, "We crossed the river as guests. Now we live as prisoners." Anger spread, hunger sharpened it. And when Roman guards tried to arrest Gothic leaders during a banquet at Adrianople, violence erupted. The Goths rose in rebellion. What began as refugees became an army. They raided Thrace, burning villas, breaking roads, and scattering imperial authority. Roman farmers fled their fields. Cities shut their gates. Smoke became a common sight on the horizon. By the summer of 378, Valens could wait no longer. His generals urged caution. Reinforcements from the west were coming. Gratian was marching to join him. But Valens hesitated. Victory shared was glory divided. Scouts brought word that the Gothic force near Adrianople was smaller than expected. They were wrong. On August 9th, under a merciless sun, Valens led roughly 30,000 Roman soldiers toward the Gothic camp. Legionaries marched in heavy armor, shields glinting, throats dry. The air shimmered with heat. Nearby villagers watched in silence as the Empire's war machine moved once more. A Roman infantryman muttered to his companion, "If the gods are kind, we dine in victory tonight." The gods were not kind. The Gothic camp was ringed with wagons, a moving fortress. Inside were women, children, elders, and warriors waiting for their cavalry to return. Fritigern, the Gothic leader, played for time. He sent envoys offering negotiations. Valens hesitated. Then chaos. Whether by accident or arrogance, Roman skirmishers attacked without orders. The line broke formation. Dust rose. Commands were lost in the heat. At that moment, the Gothic cavalry returned. Thousands of horsemen thundered onto the field, their arrival like a storm breaking the sky. They slammed into the Roman flanks. The legions tried to hold formation, shields locked, spears braced, but the ground shook beneath hooves and screaming men. A Roman centurion shouted, "A stand! For Rome stand!" But Rome itself seemed to falter. The battle dissolved into slaughter and resed. Infantry were surrounded. Men collapsed from heat before blades even reached them. Gothic arrows darkened the air. Fire spread through the dry grass, choking the wounded. Valens was somewhere in the chaos. Accounts differ. Some say he was struck by an arrow. Others claim he sought refuge in a farmhouse, wounded and desperate. The Goths, unaware of who hid inside, set the building ablaze. Flames climbed the walls. The Emperor of Rome, ruler of half the known world, died unmaimed, unrecognized, burned alive among his guards. No body was ever recovered. For the first time in centuries, a reigning Roman emperor had been killed by a foreign enemy in open battle. 2/3 of the Eastern Roman army lay dead. Veteran legions gone, officers slain, standards lost. The road to Constantinople lay open. Panic seized the empire. A Roman citizen in the capital reportedly whispered, "If an emperor can fall like this, what hope do we have?" Yet the Goths did not take the city. They lacked siege engines, unity, and time. Instead, the war dragged on, reshaping Rome's relationship with the so-called barbarians. Years later, a new emperor, Theodosius I, would settle the Goths inside the empire as semi-independent allies. It was a compromise born of weakness and a warning. The Battle of Adrianople was not just a defeat. It marked the beginning of a new world. Rome would never again fully control its borders by force alone. Barbarian groups would now live inside the empire, armed, autonomous, and powerful. A Roman historian wrote with trembling clarity, "The loss at Adrianople was the beginning of the evils of the Roman Empire, both then and thereafter." The empire still stood, but it no longer stood unchallenged. Epilogue echoes in the ashes when the wind passes over the plains near modern Eden. It carries no banners now, only grass, only silence. But once, under that same sky, an emperor fell, and with him, the illusion of Roman invincibility. This was not the fall of Rome, but it was the moment the world realized Rome could bleed. And once an empire bleeds, history never forgets.